Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to City Skylines Mass Transit. And as you can see, our little expansion up here is now starting to really blossom ever so nicely. So I've gone in and dropped in some services and some various different buildings. So we've got a school here, a park, as we whiz kind of through. There are other little bits dotted around, including police and fire here slap bang in the middle. Moving around here, we've got a cemetery, we've got another small school somewhere over here. There's a little medical clinic just there. Might need to put another one of those in somewhere. And I do have a high school in here as well. Where is the high school? There it is, just around the corner there. So we've got a high school up here as well. Everything's running really quite nicely. I've added in a little connection road just here, just to kind of link everything through, make that a little bit easier. I have also reworked this roundabout, made it bigger, because it was a little bit too small. It was actually smaller than this roundabout and that roundabout. So it wasn't letting traffic merge very freely because it was so small. So I've increased the size of that. It has warped itself ever so slightly with the addition of these sort of angled, merging pieces here, but it's still reasonably round, and I'm quite happy with it, looking like that. So having that larger, roundabout has definitely helped improve traffic flow on that island a little bit as well. And I've also, to deal with the power issues, I've gone ahead and done what I didn't really want to do, but dropped in an oil power plant as well. That'll generate an extra 120 or so power, I think it is. 150 because of the power saving policy is generating a little bit extra, and the increase to the budget. So that's going to help keep our power situation sorted for a long time. I've also had to drop in an extra pump, a fourth pump, and I went ahead and just tweaked our little quayside a little bit, as you can see, and then fitted in a fifth pump, so we have a little bit of an overflow, or a spare allowance for water. And I've had to add in a third water treatment facility down here as well. But everything else is pretty much running ever so nicely. I've switched on the cable car system. Let's see if anyone's actually using it yet. Oh yeah, look, see, people are using it. In fact, there's a whole bunch of people just came out of it right there. That's pretty cool. Let's wait for the next one to come up and see a bunch of people hopefully using that. Here it comes. And yeah, there we go. So we are actually getting another one coming as well. And some more people coming out. So we are actually getting some use out of this already, even though it's a bit of a long walk, along here all the way through to kind of this built-up area. It does give them a kind of a direct link down to this district over here. I'm thinking of adding another one, sort of perhaps over here, on this section maybe. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how that goes. And everything around here, as you can see, running really, really smoothly. I have got a nice little business park of offices over here. Just kind of popped up. I've added in a taxi service on this little side piece just here as well. And I put a stop here at this station. And I've also got another one over by the other station. Just whiz our way over here. And there's the other one just there. So it's unlikely that any taxis will ever end up queuing at those, waiting for a job, because we've only got the one depot to cover quite a lot of space, as you can see, quite a lot of city. So it's really coming along quite nicely. And I've added in the next two subscriber names as well. So you can see here, I've added in Anaf Forest. I've actually created a custom little district and marked it as leisure, mainly just to cover the riding stable there, but it also means that I can rename the forest with one of my subscriber names. And then for my good friend Adam, I have named this road here William B. Smith Boulevard in honour of his grandfather. So got this nice tree-laden road that kind of runs around the outside there. And that is now William B. Smith Boulevard. So don't forget, do keep your requests coming in. I am working through a list, and we're putting in 2 every episode, and if we start to get too much of a backlog of requests building up, then I may move that to 3. But for now, we're putting in 2 every episode. So we are definitely, adding on additional names, and we will continue to do so with every episode. So if you do want to be immortalized somewhere in my little town that's building up, and don't forget we've still got all these tiles over here. That is just effectively a little over 1 tile. We've still got 9 tiles in total to play around with. There'll be plenty of opportunities for you to get yourself in, either as a street name, a road name, a building name, a district, a service of some kind. If someone wants to, run the bus service, for example, or the taxi service, there's things like that that we can do, and I'll happily drop those in. Let's have a look at our current sort of milestones, and you can see that's what we're closing in on. We're closing in on the next one, which is 24,000. That's only going to give us the 3rd loan, which is I think a $200,000 loan. It will unlock the solar power plant, which will be quite useful, and a few extra unique buildings and so on and so forth. But this is the next one we want here, getting up to 36,000. That will give us another new tile, and it'll also give us access to the ship, which means we'll be able to bring in the cargo harbour and the regular harbour. I want to try and get the rest of these tiles unlocked so we can start progressing down into this bit and really start to draw out the main shape of our city. We've got 5 of the 9 tiles unlocked. We still have 4 to go on our city. One of them is going to be, I think, this block here, so we can do something with this mountaintop. But the rest are going to go, 3 more in this block. And in fact, what we may well do, simply on the way that we've been doing our ground dumping with soil movement for terraforming, is I may leave that there and not go any further out wide, and then it gives us an extra tile to play around with at this end, perhaps. Different options there. You can see a plane just flying overhead. Where do we need to be actually to get planes unlocked? 75,000 to get the airports unlocked. So you can see 36, 50, 75 and 90. They are the remaining 4 tiles that we need, those new areas. So that's where we need to get our city fully unlocked. I'm kind of a little bit in limbo because I want to start progressing into this area, but I don't want to do it until I've got these tiles unlocked. That's the frustration sometimes of playing, without everything unlocked. You have to kind of really be patient and wait for your opportunities. So we need to do something up here. And one thing I do want to do as well, we've got a little bit of commercial over here. It's just very small at the moment, so you've got like a Penny's Diner, a Big Bite, and I'm not sure what that is. Real estate office. And then we've got a little Dino Oil on the side there. What I want to do, if I go into districts, is this my small tool? Yes, it is. I just want to rezone this little bit just here. And I'm not going to name this district. I just want those 3 buildings there. So it's currently listed as Empire Hills, and I want to put this in as tourism, because that should now hopefully build a hotel in that area. And then we'll just remove the name of this district. I need to put a space in, don't I? There we go. No, it's still there. Can I not do that anymore? That's frustrating. Yeah, I used to be able to just put a space in and that would clear the name. That's obviously something that's been changed. Alright, let's do that. Let's put a dot for now. Like I said, I don't want that to be a named district. I just want it to be an area where we can maybe get a hotel in. And it always builds these giant hotels. It never builds the smaller ones. I don't know, maybe that'll do. We'll have a giant hotel there. We've got another one going in next door. Okay, so we have a couple of hotels there, next to the station. That's going to be our sort of a touristy input point just here. So, yeah, we'll do that. It's kind of conning the system a little bit to get the buildings that you want. But as you can see, our city's really starting to progress really nicely now. It's still a little segmented at the moment. So we have like a block here, and then a block here, and a block here, and a block here, and here. And we've got these big gaps. It's kind of not really much I can do about that with this particular part here. But as we move into this, I'll be building large zones all in one go and creating something that is just a truly sprawling metropolis. Hopefully that's kind of the plan. So whereas you can see we've got like main roads coming through, and we have these roundabouts, and it all continues and sprawls around them, and it looks very organic and realistic. That's kind of what I want to try and create in the rest of all of this. It's not necessarily going to have a huge population. There's not going to be tons and tons and tons of high density everywhere. We're going to have to drop some in at some point so we can get our population levels up high enough to enable us to get those unlocks. But 90,000 is the limit that we need to hit, really. So we don't need to have a population that goes up to 200, 300,000 or anything like that. As long as we have, say, 100,000 people, excuse me, as long as we can get, say, a total of around 100,000 people, then that's all we really technically need. And we can get away with just 8. So to get to that point, where we've got 8 tiles unlocked and we can really start sweeping down here, we need 75,000 people. So we are going to have to drop some high density in. And as a result of that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend this kind of area down here a little bit. So we're going to link up to this road a bit more. We're going to use some of this space and drop in some more high density in this first kind of district over here. Actually, that's all pretty good. I don't need to do that over here, but I will need to do something over here. Let's bring a road up here. Like so. And then drop that in like that. We have all this space, you see, that's just going to waste at the moment, so we may as well do something with it. That's actually not too bad once we zone in on this side as well. That's okay. I don't really want to go too bad because mad over here because I've got the cable car just there. I still like the idea of maybe putting in another cable car just here. Yeah, let's try that. Let's go back to cable cars again. Not particularly steep over here, really, is it? But never mind. Over here would be better, I think. Gonna squeeze one in on the corner. Not really. I can put one there, though. That works. And then let's stick the other one just here on the edge. Just wondering whether or not to take that corner piece out there and relocate it slightly. That might be easier. No, we'll leave it as is. So let's drop in the other one just here. There we go. We'll create our little route like that. There we go. We should hopefully start to see people using this service pretty quickly. I've got a whole load of people running down here. Are they flocking towards the system? Nope, they're flocking towards the centre of that area over there. To be expected. But we just keep an eye on this for a second. we should hopefully start to see some people. I wonder if we can follow one of the cars. I'm curious about that. Let's pause. Will it let me select? Oh, it will. So we've got 24 people in that car there. Oops. Damn it. There we go. So the car goes in. Do we see it coming back out again? We do. So we can actually follow the cable cars. That's kind of cool. I like that. We serviced 10 passengers last week, but we've already seen we had 24 in one car. There we go. Look, 138 people last week. So, and 172. That's immediately paying off. So we'll have that there. That'll help get people up to this little high area up here. We could maybe have another one over here as well, but we'll stick with that for now. Let's continue putting more stuff in these side spaces over here. Let's draw a road up to there. Try and do something with this space here. There we go. Do I need those power lines anymore? Yeah, I kind of do at the moment. Well, actually, no, I don't. I've got the link through here, look, now with the power station dropping in, so I can take these power cables out. There we go. Let's try and bring this zone kind of right up to the edge of the freeway, so to speak. Let's go with straight roads. It's going to be easier to build stuff. Oh, that's overlapping onto the edge. Won't let me do that. All right. Can do it this way though. I'll take that all the way down to there. Cut a road through there. And we won't necessarily be building on this side of the road, in between the freeway and that road there, but we will be building on all that space in the middle there. Really want to try and, you know, stop it looking like it's just an isolated block with nothing there, which is kind of a little bit how it looks at the moment. We'll also start dropping in some trees alongside our sort of main highways and freeways and bypass lanes to again create that kind of barrier and not make it look like it's just blocks kind of stuck on the side of a big road. So let's see, we need some more officey stuff. Let's continue zoning blocks over here. Make all this an office section over here. I'm going to need to possibly do some work with my water pipes. Might need to get those reworked slightly. I want to get some more residential in over here. Then we'll drop in some more commercial. We've got all of this section over here we can do something with as well. I like the idea of having a little bit more residential just here. And maybe put a bit more commercial here. Put some offices on that street. That could all be one block. Let's just take that out and rezone that something a little bit bigger. Starting to get some extra residential coming in over here. That's good. Yeah, there's a little bit of a water demand over here, that little tiny corner. So I'm going to need to draw these pipes out a bit further, which is kind of what I expected I'd have to do. Oh, I just got a trophy. Clark cable. I'm guessing that's something to do with the cable car system. Probably transporting a certain number of passengers by cable car, I'm guessing. Yeah, all the other extensions we put around the side of these two districts, they've all got water connections. You can see the occasional little flash of green of a building upgrading. Let's see, can we get anything in this section over here? We should be able to. That power line I kind of had to put in. We'll take that out and reposition it in a moment, I think. Actually, can I come off the side here a bit? Maybe put a park or something in that spot. And we need to do something on the main road as well. So this is where we need to kind of start looking at putting some housing in. We'll probably end up actually some of these residential districts in here. We'll probably start looking at rezoning some of these to push the houses out to the side a little bit more. And I kind of like the idea of having offices running along this side here in the build up to the kind of offices around the bus depot. So that should hopefully make that look a little bit more natural. Let's put a little bit of commercial in here on the corner, next to our cable car point. I'll stick a bit more on there as well. Why not? There we go. See, we're getting some residential buildings coming up along this edge. Those offices are really pouring in quite quickly, as you can see. Do we have anything in this block here as residential? Oh, that's zoned in quite quickly. There's extra residences over there. That's kind of good. I was just looking to see if we upgraded our services over here, and I can see we did. There's the fire services, the police service. A lot of extra traffic on the road, but these are new people moving in, combining with the existing traffic, so hopefully that'll ease itself out again in a moment. I'm not too worried about that. Everything does seem to be running nice and smooth. And here's that increase in extra residential traffic moving in. For all these new buildings. We don't have anything here, do we? A little bit of commercial there. And let's continue to work up here and zone this area in a little bit more as well. So I've been very careful to try and keep stuff off the roundabouts, as I don't like seeing buildings spawning on roundabouts. I need to make sure, because I keep forgetting to do this, I need to remember to do this with the roundabouts to stop people parking on them. Oops, did not mean to do that. I'll fix that in a second. So that should be that. There we go. Yeah, I don't like seeing cars parked on roundabouts. It's just, you would never ever do that. So I need to make sure I remember to do that. There's another one here, look. And again, we've got cars parking on it. I need to stop that straight away. Excellent stuff. Do the same over on this one. I just messed up the road type again, haven't I? Yep. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. And there's another one up here. Let's do the same up here as well. Again, look, already people parking on the roundabouts. I wish they wouldn't do this. That's one way to stop them from doing that, by putting the grass strips on the side. That'll force them to park somewhere else. There we go. This really is coming on quite nicely, this little upper zone over here. Let's add some more offices in somewhere. Let's see. We're going to make this an office business park, weren't we? Let's do that. There we go. And what I'm actually going to do is take that bit off. There we go. There we go. I want that to be residential along here. There we go. Excellent stuff. We could do something with commercial perhaps in this block here. But so far everything seems to be coming together quite nicely. And I've deliberately put a big block of office and commercial around here because of these fans. These wind turbines, they do create some noise pollution. Sticking residential right next to them is just asking for noise complaint issues. Whereas if I give them a little bit of space, I'll still get a couple of noise complaints, but it won't be anywhere near as bad as it would have been. The noise pollution is significantly reduced. So everything really is starting to come in quite nicely over here. That's really got on top of that industrial demand by dropping in these offices. We have plenty of educated citizens. None of these areas over here have been specified with a district yet, or with an education policy. We do have to quickly empty this. There we go. Where is the nearest crematorium? Oh, it's just there, so it's not too far away. That's fine. Normally I like to keep those things together, but because we had these two different districts here, I wanted to separate them out a little bit. How is our station doing? We're getting many people coming into the station. 31 last week. Now this is just an external route. We are needing to build a link between these two stations, I think. So let's do that now. We haven't done that yet. Let's add in a new bus line, a new train line. So it wants to start on that lane, and let's go with a green train. It's a green, residential to residential line. That'll do. I'll get that to go there like that, and then bring it back like that. Excellent stuff. So there is the first of our trains going into the tunnel under the mountain. Whizzing out there. And hopefully we'll start to see some people using that service. It's like one person got off the train. It's not what you want to see, but you have to give the service a little bit of time to come good. You can see that we actually have a bus line that stops right outside here as well, which is quite helpful, quite handy. Only a few people waiting on the platform at the moment. There we go. Just going to stay here for a second. Just want to see how many people kind of come out and start using these platforms. Next train coming. Getting a few people using them, not many. This should certainly be something more appropriate for a sort of a local service, you know, a short, you know, DMU train rather than a, you know, a longer Pendolino kind of, you know, Explorer train like this. And we are getting some movement there. You can see a nice little flurry of people getting off there. So as that continues to establish that connection there, hopefully we'll start to get an increase in people using the bus service. The train service. What we also need to do is we need to start thinking about putting buses into this area over here as well. Obviously we have this dedicated bus line here, but beyond that, you know, we don't really have any dedicated bus lanes at all. Now this road here, again, this may change. At the moment it's just 2-lane. I may change this to have 2-lane and a bus, may change it to have single lane and a bus, not quite sure yet, but I think we could quite comfortably put in a bus service and link it to the terminal. So let's start. If I find buses, there we go. Am I on buses? Yes, I am on buses. Let's start with a pickup point just here. And this is just going to run through the district a little bit. So we'll bring it in here. Stop there, opposite the entrance to the park. Move along to there. Go into there, and then this is going to be one of those back and forth bus services. So it's going to mirror the route that it takes. It's like a point-to-point service that then turns around. There we go. I suppose actually, I mean, that's a residential block at the moment. That actually would work quite well, I think, as maybe as a commercial, given its shape. I don't know. I might change that. It's residential at the moment, or actually no, is it? It might be commercial actually. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got commercial on part of it. Let's increase the amount of commercial in here. Let's put a bit more in over here as well, like that, and then let's put these in as offices, I think. Like that, there we go. So I'll have a bus looping service around there. And now what this means I can do is I can add in another service starting here. Oops. Oh, that's a really dark kind of green colour. A red colour, that'll do. And what I want this to do is to run into here. So I think this could potentially be a busy service. And it's literally just going to run back and forth in here like that. And then other bus loops we can then get to go off and kind of make that our little bus split point as such, so we can have a different stop here for a different route that can then go off and do this part of the district as well. We can have another one that comes off and maybe comes down into this area over here. Yeah, I think that could work. And then we've got the cable car link into that bit there. We've got a cable car link just there. We've got a bus link to here, which then splits off all the way, through everywhere else. And we have a rail link as well. So I think that's all we need in terms of connecting different districts together. We do need to put in a new service starting somewhere on here, though. I'm going to start it just here and then draw the route in somewhere else. Yeah, move the stop once I'm done. Yeah, it's a different colour green. That's different enough. So this one's going to come out this way. Let's put a stop just there. We'll get another stop just there. Stop near the cemetery. We'll go there and then loop back. And again, we're going to reverse the route. So we're going to have end-to-end bus routes in this section, rather than continual loops. And bring that down and complete the loop. There we go. And now, instead of that being there, I'm going to drag that to there. Like so. So we have a stop for each of the different buses there. That works out quite nicely. And so you can see that one there just loops out and goes through that kind of area, services some of those buses. And what I'll do is I'll probably do another service that kind of loops around the edge of this ring road section here as well. Excellent, yeah. I'm happy with that. I'm just toying whether or not to actually maybe, instead of having those bus yeah, instead of putting those there, let's bring these into here instead. Let's put that stop there. Because, as I say, we're going to put a service that goes around the edge. And we'll move that one into there. So we'll just bring it straight over and in that way around. Kind of had no choice here because we don't have a direct link, and that's a deliberate choice. So we don't end up with a choke point for traffic. Just, yeah, all traffic coming to this point and then cutting in here and just splitting off both sides. I deliberately isolated it out that way. Yeah, I think that could work quite well. How is our bus terminal with that extra bus service in? The game is starting to get a little bit laggy, I have noticed, in places. I'm getting some frame rate issues. But there's our new connecting service coming up next to the blue bus. A few people got off. Oh, another few people got off there as well. And they're all rushing over to other platforms. That junction's getting quite busy. Is that traffic lights? It looks like it. Yep. Although the buses just seem to be completely ignoring the traffic lights and just going when they feel like it. Let's take a look at that. Is it? Yeah, they just seem to be going whenever they feel like it. It was a little bit odd. Right, so those buses, they run up here. Where do they run from there? I'm guessing they run this way. Yes, there it is. It's got 19 people on it, this bus. Into our little loop. A few people waiting. Moving around. That's not a bad view, actually, is it? Looking over our city like that. And obviously that's then going to go off to the bus station just over there. Okay, so that's working. It hasn't crippled our bus station yet. That's good. Because we've only added in one single additional route. And then, we've got some other ones looping around here. What's it looking like over here? Are we getting many people using this bus? Getting a few. So you can see we have a bus stop outside our hotels. And on the other side, we have our bus stop outside of the station. Getting some good movement of people, so that should hopefully get more people on the platforms. See the external trains bringing in, additional tourists. A few people getting off that service. How many trains do we have running on that line, I wonder? Uh, 18 at the moment out of 240. How many trains do we have running? Only 2. That's fine. We don't need any more than that. Saving 48% of car trips at the moment. That's not bad. So yeah, we've just done a little bit of tweaking this episode. We haven't done anything major just yet. We have kind of expanded this district a little bit, taken it up to the roads, so it's not quite so obvious that it's a separated block. This is all looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm very happy with this. So I suppose we could start dropping in some trees and decorations to kind of, separate these out a little bit more. I don't want to go overboard. What I do want to do is extend Scottish Square out a little bit more. Again, we've got this big open area of space that isn't doing anything. It's not going to go the way I want it to, is it? There we go. So let's add in space for some additional housing in Scottish Square. Do the same over here as well. We are quite close to that smog belt, so that may be potentially a little problematic. We don't have any commercial over in Scottish Square, do we? Well, they are pretty close to the big commercial district just there, I suppose. Let's add in a little bit more housing over here. Like that. You know what, let's take that block out. Let's make that a commercial block. Just there. Just a little bit of minor commercial. And we'll do the same here as well. No point putting in offices because this is a schools out district, so it'll be encouraging people to go into employment rather than education, and office jobs tend to be of a higher educational demand. So if we just find an office, for example, you can see here we're looking at a highest number of jobs are well educated and above kind of thing. So 7 well-educated jobs are over 3 standard educated and 3 highly educated. You're looking for schools out areas. You're looking at educated and maybe a little uneducated, but mainly educated, and then anything above that is kind of not going to do you very much You can see this office here. Look, 4 highly educated buildings, jobs available, and 6 highly educated jobs, standard. So we've actually got 6 people who are overqualified working in that building there, quite substantially overqualified, filling in some of those jobs. Same again here, a lot of overeducated workers in here, and if they're overeducated working in these offices here, then they're not going to be doing any favors working over there as well. Another full cemetery to deal with. There we go. But you can see that's really starting to look more organic, a bit more natural now, because it's actually going up to the very edges of the highway sort of area. I want to do the same over here as well. Put in a little turning loop around there. Actually, we'd probably be better off making that one way, wouldn't we? Change direction. Nope, upgrade. There we go. Drop in an extra couple of buildings around here. I need to go to select. There we go. We've got space for some more over here as well. Let's drop in a bit more. Of everything. There we go. We'll drop some offices there as well, I suppose. Not sure if I want to put anything in these bits just here. That's technically, I suppose, reserved for more logging. I don't really want to go ahead and add yet more to our industry areas over here yet. I don't know if that's necessarily going to be a good idea. Everything seems to be working quite nicely at the moment over here. I don't really want to kind of shake things up too much. And Aspen Park over here and Myrtle District, they all seem to be moving and filling quite nicely. Got a bit of a gap here for something. Let's put in... We never put this back in, did we, the Botanical Gardens? Let's drop this into this gap here. Let everything kind of build back up around it. There we go. But it's always nice to have that kind of demand that's waiting to be fulfilled rather than having the space and no demand to fill it. It's always nice to have it the other way around, I think. So some real nice little bit of progress and a little bit of tweaking, and you can see some real improvement and development in the way our city is kind of looking at the moment. Need to do something with this block here as well. I'll have a think, but we need to have something filling up this kind of space over here. So I will put my thinking cap on and try and come up with something for that. Let's start by dropping in a few roads, I suppose. So I'm wondering, should we take advantage of this junction here? Might as well. Let's drag that out. There we go. trying to have those kind of subtle curves a little bit. There we go. That one can just go straight across. And that works as an extra little district. Have I got water coverage in that area? No. That's going to need to go in. Oh, that's not connected at all. Whoops, I thought I was connecting to that. And in the end I missed it completely. I may as well take that all the way up there, I suppose. Go across. Like that. And then I'm going to need a little kind of bit going up here just to cover that bit in the middle. Excellent stuff. And that's all connected, isn't it? Yes. So let's drop in a little bit more residential around here. I want us to try and push. I can't believe we still haven't hit 24,000 people yet. And we'll put offices along here as well. Oh, there we go. Now we've hit 24,000. So, we've unlocked the third loan and the solar plant, and that's pretty much it. In terms of unique buildings, we've unlocked a few, as you can see. Oh, boat museum, that's something new. Traffic park, I think that's new. Children come to learn the traffic. Come to the traffic park to learn traffic signs and rules. This is a landmark building. Locomotive halls as well. That's new. That's changed. Construct 7 instances of the multi-platform train station. Wow, that's a lot. Okay. Monuments. We haven't unlocked any monuments, but we have made some nice little bit of progress over here. So I think that is as good a point as any for us to end this episode. So that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with some more City Skylines Mass Transit very soon.